So welcome to part 2 of the Gloomhaven tutorial walkthrough on the digital app here on Legendary Tactics. We're going to jump right in. This is the first training mission apparently. We learned the basics, but now we actually have to do something useful. Now the bad guys you run into have different classes. So an elite is actually has a better might be the same as other, say, archers, but they have a, their higher ability. So we're continuing this right from where we left off last time. We've still only got the 1 hit point remaining. So any amount of damage getting through will cause us to be exhausted. We will, and because we're the only mercenary here, we will lose the scenario. So we got to be careful, and we have to avoid any incoming damage. Now again, they're going to continue with the modifier dex just being zeros for now, so we don't have to worry about them. And basically we need to take down the archer with a single attack, loot the gold she drops, and see if we can manage this. So we don't yet know. Oh boy, that's a nasty looking archer. We don't yet know what the archer's ability is going to be, but the goal is to take the archer down with a single attack. Now it's 6 damage we need to get. Oh, these are traps, but here, by the way, just noticed them. So that's interesting. Okay, so we need to do an attack 6, basically. There we are. Okay, so we're going to have to choose this one. Now, we also need to make sure that we have a movement as well, because we're going to want to move into the space to grab the loot. So let's see. So attack 6. Let's see. So we need that one, but I don't like the initiative. So that's going to be on the top. So we're looking on the bottom for a movement, and it looks like this one. Now, geez, those are not very good. Not very good. No, there's no loot ability. Oh boy, I don't like that initiative of 61. I have a feeling that might be pretty poor compared to this enemy's initiative. However, I don't see any other way of doing it. So let's see what we can manage here. Okay, so we're gonna pick this one first and this one second, and hope for the best. And the archer's going first. So we're going to have to probably burn some cards to prevent damage. Ouchie. Okay. So we're going to have to burn one available card here in order to avoid that damage. So I don't know which of these is better. We'll just seem to be about the same. So we'll burn the spare dagger just to... I don't know what else is best usable. He's going to place a trap. Interesting. So that is interesting. A 3 damage trap. So you got to be careful of those. So we're going to do an attack 6. Take that. All right. So overwhelming assault is a powerful card, but it takes comes at a cost. So if you noticed, there was a flaming card icon in the corner. So when you use it, it's automatically burned. Let's see if we can see it. So if you look here, that little symbol there is a card, burn card, which means if you use this top half ability, then the card is burned and you lose it. So anyway, we're going to move on to the... Whoa! Don't want to move on to one of the traps. Okay, and we'll skip the movement here. We'll grab the gold. And good job. With no enemies left and your objectives complete, this scenario would have normally ended already, leaving that chest behind. However, for the sake of training, we're going to get the objective to loot the chest. Now, the traps, though, might be a problem. So we want to heal up first. So we'll take a long rest, which will let us heal 2, and recover enough discarded cards so we can take the 2 damage. Here, this is a damage 1. Pretty sure that's a damage 3. Oh, I see. Is this? Oh, there's the chest there. So, yeah. That's interesting. I don't know why it's saying damage 2, but anyway, it should be enough. We're going to take a long rest. With no bad guys around, it's good a time as any. Now, we do need to select an ability card to burn. And I think the attack cards are probably safe if there's no other enemies around. Probably safe to get rid of the attack cards. Okay, so we're going to move on to the trap and take the damage. So it doesn't really matter which one we choose first here, because there's no enemies as far as I can tell, but we'll take the high initiative, and we're going to take the move and move right onto the trap. Ouchie, 1 damage, but now the trap is gone. We're just going to receive that damage. And then we're going to continue our movement onto the chest, and then we'll skip the rest of the movement. And basically, we need to select the remaining action, but skip it. Now it's a burn attack, or sorry, it's a burn card, as you can see. So maybe I'll just take the attack 2 just in case. I'm not sure how the interface works. I know what I want to do. So if I take the shield bash, that full attack, then I just don't want to lose the card, just in case it's a trick on the tutorial's part. And we open up the chest, and we get the Boots of Striding. So during your movement, add +2 move to a single movement. So that's pretty handy. Now you'll see the symbol there, that weird symbol with the arrow, and basically if you have to tap this card or exhaust it in order to use that. So the Boots of Striding will come in handy the next time you need a little extra mobility, right? So that training didn't take too long, so we're going to just move right on ahead into the next scenario and show you more about how this game works. You can see that the interface seems to be pretty clear. It seems to walk you through how the game works, and I'm really excited about seeing this the full campaign. I've mentioned that before, but I think that's going to be really neat. It seems to be a game they're putting a lot of resources into. So now we've learned about basic attacks and moves, but now we're going to use some different abilities. So a move with jump, and this allows us to get across obstacles and enemies without triggering them. I've always thought of this as like how in chess the knights jump over spaces. That's kind of how I feel that it works. So anyway, so we picked up the Boots of Striding, which increases a move ability by 2 hexes, so we can get right up close. But we're pretty weak, so we're going to see if we can disarm her before she can attack. And this is kind of the granular attacks that I mentioned before. So we're going to use the jump movement to get across the traps unscathed and disarm the archer before she attacks. Okay, so we know what we got to do. We got to attack and disarm. Looks like that's the only one there. So we're going to choose this one because it has very low, like early initiative. And then we're going to take the move with the jump right here. And with our Boots of Striding, that should help us to get across. And the Bandit Archer is 44. So we are, perfectly able to move ahead. Okay, and we can use the Boots of Striding to toggle the displayed items. So we're going to toggle this. And then that allows us to basically jump right there. Hopefully I've done this correctly. And there we go. And then we move. Let's see here. Oh, okay, skip the rest of the movement. And then we're going to attack and disarm the enemy here. So we do some damage. And now there was a little symbol on there. I don't know if you saw it. It was pretty quick, but little symbol showed that the archer was disarmed. I was hoping the bow would go flying, but apparently not. So we got a decent hit, but thanks to the disarm, basically the archer can't attack this turn, And so basically we have to kill the archer, jump over the traps, and loot the chest. And we need to get both done this round. So now short rests allow you to recover the discarded cards to use immediately this very turn. I don't think we can long rest right now because we don't, with the archer right there, we don't have the health to take to attack right now. So we'll do a short rest. We don't really have a choice. We lose provoking roar, I guess. I'm assuming because this is the scenario, this is what we have to do. Okay, so this gives us the ability now to do stuff. So leaping cleave is one option. Overwhelming assault, but that card's going to be burned. And I don't know if we're supposed to use the push as a as an example here. So well, let's how much health does this archer have? 2 health. So maybe we can use the overwhelming assault first, I guess. I don't know if this is right, but we need to get that move with a jump so we can get across the traps. And grab and go. We've already used our boots, so we're gonna have to we're gonna have to just basically pick these 2. And he got 68. Great. So all right, so we need to attack well, actually yeah, I think we can use or sorry, which one do we need? Oh, we need this one jump. So let's just do a generic attack so we don't burn that card. Right, because we didn't use the overwhelming assault, and so that means that we the card didn't get burnt, it just got discarded. And then we're going to move and jump, and I think if I remember correctly, he said to get to the treasure chest, so we're going to jump over the trap, and we're going to end Brute's turn, and we get an item, a minor healing potion. So during a turn you can perform a heal 3 self, so that's one that heals yourself. Obviously there are other items which heal allies, and I don't know if you noticed there in the bottom corner, I'll point it out next time, but there's a card with an X through it, and that is basically if you once used, it's burned and gone. You can't recover it, at least not during the scenario. So a rest, a stab, and a jump right in the chest. Nicely done. So that potion will be handy. Let's hope so. All right, we're gonna move on to the next chapter here, and I hope these are helpful. I think the interface does a lot to kind of teach you the mechanics. It's no more complicated than a lot of of these types of games. Pretty pretty similar in many ways. So to be a successful guildmaster, you need to pay close attention to enemy actions and try to plan your moves around them. All right, well, we'll see what we can do. So don't get attacked, and if the enemy manages to land a hit, then we have to restart. So we need to open the door in front of Brute, but enemies in the next room will also get to act this round. Okay, so let's see, there should be a safe place to stand that we need to find here. So this is interesting. So all right, well, let's pick there's attack 2 with a disarm. That might be handy if we need to. I'm just looking, there's one archer, and the archer is going to have a ranged attack, and the range is 3 spaces. So either we move close and disarm this this guy, or we just get out of range. So I'm wondering how far can we move for. So I'm wondering, oh geez, these guys are probably they're gonna be within kind of range of me. So there's apparently somewhere where I can stand where it's not gonna be or I'm not gonna be easy to catch. So that's an interesting puzzle. I don't know where that could be. Well, I guess we'll give it a try here. I think if we can maybe attack and disarm, that might be part of the strategy. I'm hoping. Um, let's see. So if we move, let's see if we move here. Oh, we're still within range of that one guy. If we move here, I think that's out of range of everyone. This guy's going to be able to move up, but I'm going to if he does, I can maybe disarm him with an attack. So interestingly, I may want to choose a later move here. Well, you know what? Let's take this guy and let's do the move for... Well, I don't think we need to use that one, but let's... I don't know if we need to jump. I don't think so, but we'll just try the move for it. We'll see how this goes. All right. So they definitely move. So the other important thing to realize is that the bandit guards, you only draw one card per type. So they have they're all going to operate as a 50 on the initiative. They're going to move to an attack 2. And then the archer is going to move 1 and attack 3, but after I've already moved. So that's kind of important because I was kind of picking my space based on the idea that he wasn't going to be able to, or he wasn't going to move. So he's going to move 1, so I need to get out of range. Huh, this is an interesting puzzle. Okay, so we're going to move 4 here, and I've got to figure out where I can possibly go that's out of range. I got to be at least 4 spaces then away from this archer. So 1, 2, like he's going to be here or here. So 1, 2, 3. You know what? I probably can move here safely because if he moves 1, 1, 2, 3. If I move here, this junk in the way should probably hold me, like basically prevent the other guy from attacking. So let's try that. We're going to skip the rest of the movement. And I don't know if we have... okay, maybe we'll take our healing action here. I don't know if this is right. So let's see. I guess we can't attack, so I perhaps have made a mistake. And it looks like I'll have to restart here. So interesting. So all right, that is a defeat on my part. So I'm going to give this one more quick try. We'll see how it goes. It's interesting that they put it as a puzzle. I really couldn't see anywhere I could stand where I was going to be safe, but we'll try this again. And basically, you know, with all those guys moving 2 and attacking 2, I'm just wondering. So I have to move first. I think that's safe to say, because otherwise the archer's just going to, shoot me. Or I'm going to assume the initiatives are the same as last time, and that was 44 and 50 if I recall correctly. So I have to take this as my first, and then the second one is going to be, so that one's going to be an attack 2. Just it's part of it. The disarm is probably part of it, but I really don't know how I'm supposed to get out of that. There doesn't seem to be any spots. There's no choke points I can really get to. And the archer's going to cover this range. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. If I go here, maybe? That might work, actually. Now that I see, because this guy's going to have to go around, and that guy's too far away. But the only thing is, though, I got to... Yeah, that's the only problem, is that I need to disarm... I think I need to disarm someone in order to... Yeah, that's the only thing. How do I disarm the one? Yeah, this is going to be an interesting puzzle. I'm not exactly sure how to go about this one. There's apparently a spot where I can stand where it's going to be clear that I'll be safe. And I'm just wondering if I should just go through the door at this point. It might be the only safe spot here. So let's try that, and we'll take our chances. Okay, interesting. So, I wonder if I stand in the doorway, whether that's safe actually. Because these guys can move too. How far is this guy gonna move? Yeah, it's the same class, so he moves 2. 1, 2. He can't get to me. I think the doorway is actually the safest spot. It's a bit surprising. Can this guy get me if he moves 1 there? 1, 2, 3. No, he's out of range. So I think I'm gonna gamble that this is actually the. I'll take my healing potion. Why not? And I'm gonna skip my attack and hope for the best here. Let's see if we got it. The archer moves up. The guards move up. They can't get to me. They're not too quick on their feet. All right, we found it. So we added more enemies because as with a lot of these games, you know, no one actually attacks until you until you open a door, and then suddenly they know you're there. So that is going to be obviously you know, a trick, you know, you generally want to clear out the enemies in one room before you move on to the next. So all right, so just one more round of bandit dodging to complete the mission. All right, so there may be a way to prevent an attack to survive. So we have to take a short rest here in order to yes, we have to burn, grab, and go. Okay, so we know what we're dealing with. So I think the archer likely moving 1, so I think, well, we'll get the disarm, obviously. And so the you know, attack the let's see, move 3. I don't think it matters really, so we'll take this. So our initiative's 10. We get to go first again, which is great. So the only thing I can think of was kind of my original idea. What we'll do is we'll move as far as we can into the room. Let's go here and here, far away as we can, and then we're going to attack and disarm this guy. Take that. And that should do the trick. I'll bet you that's the trick. That was actually my original idea. Oh, I forgot to check the archer, but he's moving a bit faster this time. But I don't think they can get at me. So managed to dodge that again. So hey, I'm almost a professional. All right. Yeah, Provoking Roar. That is a really great card. I like that with the disarm. So all right. And then, yeah, so we're going to be just one more test, and then we're going to be through the tutorial. So, yeah, this is, I really like how this game is put together. The tutorial works well. I think it teaches you what you need to know, and I like how I like tutorials that kind of throw the challenge back on you. It's like, okay, well, you know, you're saying you know how to play. All right, prove it. So... now we're going to take a look at the attack modifier part of the game. And again, this is a deck just to kind of randomize an attack, so it's not quite a, you know, a done deal, that there's some randomness to it. And so you're going to draw a card. In real life, you would draw a card that would be, you know, an attack modifier. Basically, it is going to be +1, +2, or ×2, so kind of a critical hit, or a -1, -2, or ×0, which is obviously a full miss. We've only seen the zeros, and if you hover over the character, it actually gives you a breakdown of how many cards are in each. So these guys have only 2 attack modifiers remaining in their decks, ×2 and ×0. So we want them to draw the 0 to deal no damage, and we're going to give them a disadvantage to ensure that. So this is another aspect to those decks. So ranged attacks have disadvantage when their target is on an adjacent hex. So in other words, you want to, if you're using a ranged weapon, you want to use it at a distance. If you try and use it and it's too close, if you've ever tried to, I don't know, use a bow and arrow against a target that's way too close, you can't wield it well. So you get a disadvantage, which means that a character will draw their they'll draw their two of the cards, and they will pick the worst of the two. There's also a thing called an advantage where it's the opposite. You draw two cards, you take the best of the two. So anyway, that's I guess they're not going to cover that part. So as these archers only have 2 modifiers remaining, if they attack with disadvantage, they will draw both, but they'll be forced to draw the ×0 over the ×2 as a worse result. And so the disadvantage will apply when there's a flashing purple symbol next to the health bar. But of course, we can only be adjacent to one of the archers, and so we have to kill the other with a ranged attack. So we've got a bunch of +1s in this mission, and so we need to get next to one of the archers to give her disadvantage, and then kill the other archer with a ranged attack. So what cards do we... Oh, and there's the breakdown. Where was that? Here, you can see there's 3 +1 cards there. So we're going to need an attack. There's 4 health, so we're going to need at least an attack 3. I think the spare dagger is the one that we'll be after there. And then we're also going to need a move 1, 2, 3. Well, probably 3 sufficient because the dagger has a range of 3. So I don't see any traps, so I don't see any disadvantage. But we'll definitely start with the spare dagger. And then I think we can get away with either of the other cards. We'll do, I don't know, grab and go, I guess, just to give us more flexibility. All right, they get 68, and they have range 4 and attack 3, which I don't know what happened to my healing potion. I thought oh, there we are. So we can heal up. Why not? Let's heal up. That way we can't lose, right? Okay, so we're going to move first. We're going to move here, and that will give us well within range of our knife. Now you'll notice the archers are not moving this turn, which is probably key to this scenario. If there'd been a move 1, they could have backed away and then shot me, but I think because it's a tutorial, they're not going to do too much. So all right, so we do the ranged attack, and because we drew that +1 from even though my attack was only strength 3, the +1 combat modifier card helped me do the extra damage. That guy has to draw 0, complete miss, and drew both cards, but disadvantage forced her to draw 2 attack cards and use the worst of the 2. And so that's how we did it. Now we just have to kill the final remaining archer and loot the chest. So again, short rest. We lose grab and go. Okay, so we're going to do, of course, spare dagger. Actually, yeah, we'll do... yeah, we've got the move here. So we're going to need that one. And we're going to have to do the ranged attack. So I guess this is the lesson that it's trying to show us here, is we're going to do the spare dagger. And he gets 31. Whew, that was close. All right, so what we have to do actually here is we have to move first to get, so we're not attacking with, I guess it might not matter because if we attack with disadvantage, but we'll just do it this way because it's better play. So we move over there, and then we do the attack at range, so we don't have to deal with a disadvantage, which in this scenario won't matter because it's only +1s in the deck. However, it's better play to do it that way, obviously. So heater shield, when damaged by an attack, gain shield 1 for the attack. So this will be something that'll be covered soon. So helps to soak up some damage. And this is the basic training missions, and time to get exploring. So hope you got some value out of this, and hope you got a sense of, again, Gloomhaven and what a solid game it is. Now imagine this with all the different dungeons where you've got a map to explore. It's almost a choose your own adventure kind of thing where you can go anywhere you like and explore as you wish, and loot dungeons and kill monsters and stuff. It's just great. So Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like, please subscribe. And this is NATO with Legendary Tactics. We'll see you next time.